Hello, hello, hello. I am not Steve. That's correct. I am Jack. That's right. At Cavanagh87, Jack Cavanagh here hosting Locked In at the halftime show for the Baltimore Ravens. And of course, I am joined by two of the smartest gamblers in the degenerate community. Vishaal, how's it going here tonight?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, just fantastic. You know, I could be a little bit better. The Ravens could be better, but
Yeah, I was hoping this would be a better game, but
yeah, we won't talk too much about that. I'm going to deflect because I'm sad about the Ravens. So anyways, Mason, how are you, my friend? Mason, how are you, my friend? Mason does not want to be my friend, apparently. Mason does no interest in being my friend at all. You there? Oh, all right. Well, Mason has left the building. Oh, okay. Well, he'll be right back. And in the meantime, let's start with Vishaal until we hear from Mason. So, Vishaal, do you want to go for your games first or your picks
yep,
first?
I'll go through my picks first. So my first one is Matt Ryan under 284.5 passing yards. This number is a little inflated. Ryan is only averaging 270 passing yards per game this season, and he's going up against a Dallas defense that's also only giving up 270 passing yards per game. And opposing quarterbacks have gone under this number in Dallas's last 4 times in Dallas's last 5 games. So their pass defense is playing really well. This is just going to be a tough number, I think, for Ryan to go over again. And he also has, he's missing some weapons on offense. Calvin Ridley's, again, not going to play this week. Mm-hmm. So this number just seems a little high. I'm going to take the under on this one. Second, I'm going to go under 53.5 receiving yards for Julio Jones. This number also seems inflated for whatever reason. Jones really hasn't done anything so far this season. He's only gone over this number twice so far this year in the games that he's played, and he's just not getting that much volume. He only has more than 4 catches once this season. He's just not getting targeted. He's not getting the ball a lot. So it's hard to see how he's going to reach this number, especially given the fact that I think Tennessee is going to have the lead throughout this one. We saw what their defense is able to do against a good offense last week against the Rams. Now they're going to go up against Trevor Siemian and Taysom Hill. I just really expect Tennessee to, win this game pretty handily and have the lead throughout. So they might focus on their rushing game rather than, throw the ball. So I'm going to take under on this number for Julio. And then finally, I'm going to go over 251.5 passing yards for Russell Wilson. In the 4 full games he's played this year, he's gone over this number 3 times. Seattle is 3.5-point underdogs in this one. So there's a good possibility that they're going to have to throw the ball to stay competitive and stay in this one. And according to all the reports, it looks like Wilson will be at a full 100%. His finger's not going to be a problem. Green Bay doesn't have the greatest secondary in the league. I think he should easily be able to get over this number in this one.
I'm not going to have any arguments on any of these. Russell Wilson comes back, and of course, Russell Wilson's going to do Russell Wilson things. Yep. We're not worried about that at all. We were a little bit worried, though, about Mason's audio. So, Mason, hello. How are you?
I'm good. Now I'm back. I don't know. I literally, right as we entered, it was like, nope, you can't join in on the fun. So
that's okay. We didn't want to talk to you anyways, but all good on your end, aside from the technology blip?
Yeah, we're doing good. I wish the Ravens would come out here and stop drinking before games, as Nee puts it in our Discord chat. That would be excellent. But I got a good slate of picks here for us, so we're ready to get into it.
Let's get to them.
So, piggybacking off of what V just said there, we have Russell Wilson back. Danger Russ is back. So I'm going to go ahead and take DK Metcalf over 73.5 yards. The big news is obviously Russ is back. That's a big boost to all of the Hawks' weapons. Now, truth be told, DK's only hit this line 3 times this season, but this week's matchup was a little bit too good for me to pass up. On paper, Green Bay, they're playing at Green Bay this week. On paper, the Packers have a semi-solid defense and coverage, but the injuries have kind of put them behind the 8 ball. Jair Alexander has missed some extended time. Rookie Eric Stokes had kind of a freak knee injury, and he might be missing this one. And that's going to leave Green Bay with Kevin King and Russell Douglas. That's not a great combination of dudes to hang with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I think that it really just takes one blown coverage for this to go over, and that is very likely to happen.
It could be one play in DK Metcalf,
Right.
one reception, 85 yards, and you hit.
Right. The dude's a physical freak. Speaking of physical freaks, at one point, my next one here, we have Adrian Peterson under 38.5 rushing yards. So I differ a little bit from V here, where I am just absolutely inconsolable about the Derrick Henry injury. I was excited to watch the football world erupt when he became the first player to rush for 2K in back-to-back seasons. I loved counting it last year, and I was getting excited to start gearing up for it this year, and him going down was really a bummer. And the Peterson addition is just wholly unexciting for me. It's an entirely washed-up player. He's aged 36. In his debut, he had 10 rushes for a whopping 2.1 yards per carry. I don't think he moves the needle in really any way. And if the Titans are going to have to adjust and stay atop the AFC, they're going to have to lean more on Tannehill in the pass game. This week versus New Orleans, New Orleans has allowed the fewest rushing yards and the lowest yards per carry in the NFL. They only allow 3.2 yards per carry. That's actually an insane number, where other teams out there are allowing, I think over 50% of the league is allowing more than 4. That's kind of a huge number. The Saints have only allowed 3 rushers this season to go over this line: Antonio Gibson, Saquon Barkley, and Christian McCaffrey. And that's kind of crazy, thinking that the line is only 40 yards. And Adrian Peterson might have been one of these guys before, but he is not one of those guys now. So I'm going under there. And then last, but certainly not least, for all those who don't know, our guy Jack here, he does a podcast with Lions legend Jerry Ball, and they break down the team every week. And as a purveyor of Lions lore, Jack, apologies beforehand for having to dampen your week with this Goff slander that I'm about to put out there.
It's okay, I understand.
It's been a tough road for Goff and the Lions. They're still winless. They're playing less close games than they were early on. There's a number of reasons for that, and anybody that wants to hear those reasons why, go check Jack and Jerry out. They break it down regularly. They just finished one. It's gold. Go check it out.
Thank you so much. You're so good at sucking up to the boss.
Jack, you do good work. I like to send good people your way, so that's what we're going to do. But I'm going to talk a little. I'm going to drag Jared Goff here for a little bit. There may not be a lot around him, but that hasn't excused how he's underperformed so far. Even in games that warrant him needing to throw the ball, he just isn't forcing the issue. He's only hit this line of 244 yards 3 times this year. And in his last 4 games, he's only done it once, and only one of those games was even within 1 score. So it's just not a lot going for him, even when the script goes his way. This week, they're at Pittsburgh, and even though Justin Fields just had the biggest game yet against them, they're still decently stingy against opposing passers. They've allowed the 10th fewest passing yards in the NFL this season. They get after the quarterback. They have the 3rd highest pressure rate in the NFL, and that's just not a recipe for success for Goff, who has the 25th ranked pass blocking unit per our friends at Pro Football Focus. It's not looking great for our guy there. And unfortunately for the Lions, the second half of the season looks pretty rough for them.
They have a bottom 5 schedule for the rest of the season. The one point I'll make is they do have their left tackle, Taylor Decker, coming back from IR. So the pass blocking could get better, but to your point, Jared Goff's arm is not Justin Fields' arm. There is a tangible difference there. So unfortunately, I agree. And on this note, remember DK Metcalf on the over. You can also stack that with Vishaal's over of Russell Wilson. opposing cards, but worth the play. And now for my picks. So we are going to go over with Cordaro Patterson. And the reason is he might be the most game script player in the NFL right now. Always take the over on Cordaro Patterson. He has 2 games this season with double-digit carries, and he has 5+ targets in every game except for his first. So even if they're blowing teams out, he's going to run the ball. If they're behind, he's going to catch the ball. It doesn't matter. Cordaro Patterson is getting his touches. 126 receiving last week, even if he had just 10 yards rushing, and he's topped 84.5 yards 4 times in the past 6 weeks as well. So we're taking the over on Cordaro Patterson. We're also taking the over on Jerry Jeudy. I don't mind stacking this one with the under on Courtland Sutton. So Jerry Jeudy, he has topped 63.5 yards in all 3 of his full games this season. The man is good. Whereas Darius Slay, he's going to be shadowing Courtland Sutton, and that's not a recipe for success. Slay had his worst game last week, and it was still just 49 yards to Mike Williams and 10 yards to Keenan Allen. Some of the other names he's held down: Mike Evans, 27 yards. Antonio Brown, 14 yards. DJ Moore, 14 yards. Tyreek Hill, 15 yards. He is shutting everyone down. So not a bad idea to take the under on Courtland Sutton, but because of that, Jerry Jeudy is going to be fed targets. This is an easy over on him. And finally, we'll close things out with the main event, Alvin Kamara. And unfortunately, this one might actually end up being a scratch at this point. Kamara's missed 2 practices, so he might not dress. That would be a refund. But if he's playing, they need him. Titans are one of the most explosive offenses in football. With Derrick Henry out, they're going to be throwing the ball more. Kamara has topped 106.5 yards total in 4 of his games this season. Hasn't topped it in the past 2 weeks. 76 yards against the Bucks, 104. He just missed it last week. However, that was with a change with Jameis Winston going down. Trevor Siemian is in, and they're going to have to adapt, and that adaptation will come with Alvin Kamara being fed if he plays. And if not, don't worry about it, because you'll get a refund anyways. So those are my thoughts. Any arguments there on mine? I know you two are much smarter than me when it comes to the player props.
No, you broke it. You broke it down perfectly. All I'll say is go Broncos.
Yeah, I love the Patterson pick too. I had him last week and he hit, so definitely riding that Patterson train this year.
And I don't think it's mutually exclusive. I still think you can take the under on Matt Ryan and the over on Cordaro Patterson.
Yeah, totally agree.
Right.
He's
full
total yards for Patterson, not just receiving.
Oh, I am so happy that I didn't make myself look like a fool on my first time on Locked In. So before we head out, we'll just take a look at the Week 10 standings. You guys want to break this down a little bit? It looks like you guys are doing pretty good. Pretty good.
No, it's just Mason who does well. Me and Steve are not doing too hot.
It's all right. It's how it goes.
It's okay. We will rebound, and just like the Baltimore Ravens, we will rebound as we go forward. Am I right?
Right. Definitely. Let's hope for this -7 that they rebound that I need. So
let's hope for that. And any final thoughts from either of you two, Vishaal?
I think we just quickly go through our locks. We usually pick one each of our locks. So for me, I think I'll just take the over on Russell Wilson. I think he's going to have a big game in his first game back. He should be 100%, and this should be a good matchup for him. So I'll lock up Russell Wilson this week.
And I'm going to tag along to that. I'm going to go into DK Metcalf over, and we're just going to go and ride this V hand in hand, right into Valhalla. We're going to take this one home.
Sounds good.
Locked in on the Seahawks over, and I will round it out with my Cordaro Patterson over. That's the one I'm most confident in. Completely game script proof. We love Cordaro Patterson at Important Nonsense, and we love you. So thank you all for listening to us. Any final thoughts now that I'm still learning all of the ins and outs?
No, you're good. You're good, Jack. You're a busy man. We appreciate you coming out and doing this with us. We're going to have to get you out here more often so you can get into the swing of things, now that you've broken the ice and come out to play with us. So
I'm down to come play anytime. It was an absolute pleasure. So where can the people find you, Mason?
At football_Mace on the Twitter, and importantnonsense.com. You can check me and B out. We write all of our weekly pieces. You can check out there. Yeah, stay good, people.
And Vishaal, where can the people find you?
Yeah, same thing on importantnonsense.com. You can check out our articles and then also check out the Discord. Me and Mason post our picks every week, and both of us are crushing it this year. So come take a look at our picks and make some money.
Yeah, sign up for the Important Nonsense Patreon for starting at $1, and you can start getting some of the juicy betting contests because these two men are absolutely killing it. I've been your host at Cavanagh87. Thank you for letting me come in and steer the ship while Steve is away. So until next time, we will see you next time.